The county animal shelter reeked of bleach and fear until a small Belgian Malinois pup pressed his scarred nose against cold metal bars. What Officer Sarah Mitchell found behind those amber eyes would save a life she didn't know was in danger and force her to confront the partner she'd lost. What this puppy did next would shatter everything Sarah believed about coincidence, grief, and the unbreakable bonds between handlers and their dogs. Before we start, make sure to hit like, share, and subscribe. Drop your country name in the comments. I love seeing how far our stories travel. Morning light filtered through Sarah's kitchen window. The coffee maker hissed softly. Steam curled toward an empty dog bowl she hadn't put away. 2 years since the warehouse. 2 years since Rex took the bullet Meg for her. 2 years of patrol without a partner beside her. Sarah touched the old collar hanging on the wall. Worn leather. Faded name tag. Her fingers trembled slightly before she pulled away. The radio crackled from the living room. Routine call. Noise complaint on Maple Street. Nothing urgent. Nothing dangerous. She drove past Riverside Park on the way to the station. Joggers circled the pond in steady rhythm. Children chased pigeons across fresh-cut grass. Everything peaceful. Everything ordinary. The kind of morning that made her forget, just for a moment, what she'd lost. Sarah parked outside the station at 7:45. Other canine officers arrived with their dogs. German shepherds leaped from vehicles. Belgian Malinois strained at leashes, eager and alert. Tails wagged. Commands echoed across the lot. She looked away quickly. The empty passenger seat felt heavier than it should. Detective Marcus Webb waved from across the parking area. His face carried the same shadows hers did. "Morning, Mitchell," he called. She nodded. Didn't stop to chat. Hadn't really talked to him since Rex's funeral. Marcus watched her go, guilt flickering across his weathered features. He carried his own ghosts, his own empty leash. Inside, Sarah renewed paperwork at her desk. Community outreach schedule, school visits next week, safety demonstrations at the elementary school. The kind of safe work they give officers who've seen too much, who've watched their partners fall. Her phone buzzed against the metal desk. Text from her sister Julie. "Adoption event at shelter this weekend. Come with me?" Sarah stared at the message. Didn't reply. The thought of another dog felt like betrayal. Like replacing someone irreplaceable. Like admitting Rex was really gone. She took lunch alone in her patrol car. Sandwich from the deli. Coffee gone cold. The radio murmured background chatter. Dispatch called units to minor incidents. A fender bender on 5th. Shoplifting report at the grocery store. Normal day. Safe day. Friday afternoon arrived with golden sunlight. Sarah drove her usual route home, past the high school, through downtown, along Riverside Park again. Then something made her slow down. An instinct she couldn't name. A pull she couldn't explain. The county animal shelter sat 3 blocks off her route. Brick building, chain link runs visible from the street. She hadn't been inside since adopting Rex 5 years ago. Hadn't even driven past it intentionally, until now. Sarah told herself she was just looking, just curious. Her car turned into the parking lot without conscious decision. Engine off, keys in hand. Heart beating faster than it should for something so simple. Inside, fluorescent lights buzzed overhead. Barking echoed off concrete walls. The smell of disinfectant burned her nostrils. A young volunteer with kind eyes approached. "Can I help you?" Sarah hesitated. "Just browsing." "Take your time," the volunteer said. "Most are in the back kennels." Sarah walked slowly past the cages lining the hallway. Pit bulls pressed against bars. Terriers yapped excitedly. A 3-legged hound watched her with soulful eyes. Each pair of eyes followed her hopefully. Each tail wagged with desperate optimism. Sarah felt her chest tighten. So many waiting, so many hoping. She almost turned back, almost left. Then she saw him. Last kennel on the left. A small Belgian Malinois puppy, maybe 8 months old. Black coat with unusual amber patches along his shoulders, like fire bleeding through shadow. He sat perfectly still, not whining, not jumping, not displaying typical puppy chaos, just watching her with unsettling intelligence. His ribs showed slightly through thin fur. A circular scar marked his left shoulder, fresh enough to still be pink against darker skin. Sarah knelt slowly. Her knees touched cold concrete. "Hey, buddy," she whispered. The puppy didn't move, didn't bounce forward seeking attention, but his eyes glistened. Not with fear. With something else. Recognition. Almost. Impossible, but there. She studied him more carefully. His posture was too controlled, too disciplined, his gaze too focused. This wasn't a normal shelter dog. This wasn't a normal puppy at all. Sarah stood, brushing dust from her uniform pants. When did he come in? 3 days ago, the volunteer answered. Found wandering Route 9. No microchip, no tags, completely alone. Any history? The volunteer shook her head. Vet says he's healthy despite the malnutrition. That scar, though. She paused. Looks deliberate. Sarah's jaw tightened. Abuse cases always hit hardest. The deliberate cruelty. The intentional harm. I can't, she muttered to herself. Can't go through that loss again. Can't watch another partner fall. Can't survive that kind of grief twice. She started to walk away. Her boots scraped against concrete. The pain of losing Rex, still too fresh, too raw to risk again. A soft whimper stopped her. Sarah turned back. The puppy had moved to the front of the kennel. One small paw extended through the bars. Not desperate, deliberate, like offering a handshake, like asking for a chance. Their eyes met. Something unspoken passed between them. Sarah felt her chest tighten with emotion she'd kept buried for 2 years. What's your name, huh? The puppy tilted his head, amber eyes never breaking contact, never looking away. Sarah reached out slowly. Her fingers brushed his paw. Warmth, connection, life. The scar, she said. Where exactly is it? The volunteer opened the kennel door carefully. The puppy didn't bolt, didn't rush past, just waited patiently. Sarah examined his shoulder. The circular mark was precise. Too precise. This is a brand, she breathed. Military or law enforcement? The volunteer frowned. We checked. Nothing came up in any database. Sarah's instincts flared. Something's wrong here. Something's being hidden. All right, she heard herself say. Show me the adoption paperwork. The volunteer beamed. Really? That's wonderful. Sarah wasn't sure it was. Wasn't sure of anything except that walking away felt impossible now. The puppy leaned against her leg. Solid, trusting. Right. Yeah, Sarah whispered. You're coming home with me. At the front desk, paperwork spread across the counter. Sarah filled out forms while the puppy sat beside her chair, perfectly still, perfectly calm. No puppy energy, no chaos, no excited squirming or playful nipping. This isn't normal for 8 months old. The volunteer noticed too. She glanced down at the dog with curiosity. He's been like that since arrival, she said quietly, like he's waiting for orders. Sarah's skin prickled. What kind of training did this dog receive? Who had him before the shelter? The volunteer stapled documents together. He's all yours. Good luck. Sarah signed the final form. Her hand shook slightly. The puppy's ears suddenly swiveled toward the entrance. 3 seconds before the door opened, a family walked in, laughing. 2 children ran ahead of their parents. How did he know? Sarah stared at the dog. He looked up at her, those amber eyes holding secrets she hadn't uncovered yet. Sarah's apartment was small but tidy. She set down a new dog bed in the corner. The puppy ignored it completely. Instead, he walked to the front door and sat, facing it, alert. You can relax, buddy. You're safe now. He didn't move, still waiting for something, still on duty. Sarah filled a bowl with kibble from the bag she'd bought on the way home. She placed it on the kitchen floor. The puppy didn't approach, not while she stood nearby. Sarah stepped back 3 feet. Only then did he move forward. He ate methodically, efficiently. No typical puppy enthusiasm, no mess. Every piece of kibble consumed with purpose. What do I even call you? Sarah scrolled through name lists on her phone. Rex had chosen his own name somehow. Had responded to it immediately when she'd said it aloud. Nothing on the list felt right. Nothing clicked. The puppy finished eating, sat, waited for the next command. Blaze, she said suddenly, because of those amber patches. Like fire. His ears perked slightly. Not much, but enough. Acceptance, Nady. Bath time revealed more than Sarah expected. She ran warm water in the tub. Blaze stepped in without hesitation. Strange. Range for a puppy. Most fought water. Most squirmed and tried to escape. Not this one. She soaped his fur gently. More scars emerged under the grime and matted hair. Small marks, precise cuts. On his legs and chest, deliberate patterns. Oh, Blaze, who did this to you? He remained perfectly still as she rinsed him, patient beyond his months. Sarah dried him with a towel. His coat revealed its true colors, deep black with amber patches that caught the light. Beautiful, actually, striking. He shook once. Water droplets flew everywhere. Then he was still again. That night, Sarah lay in bed. Blaze positioned himself by the door. Not on the offered bed, not in the crate she'd set up. Guarding the entrance, protecting the only exit. She watched him for a long time. Sleep came slowly. She woke at 3 a.m. Blaze was staring at her from his post. Not creepy. Watchful, like he was standing guard over someone vulnerable. Someone who needed protection. Sarah's throat tightened, just like Rex used to do. Saturday morning arrived with pale sunlight. Sarah's alarm was set for 7. At 6:58, Blaze nosed her hand. She blinked awake, confused and disoriented. What's wrong? He just looked at her, waited. 2 minutes later, the alarm blamed. Lucky guess, she muttered. But Sunday morning, it happened again. Blaze woke her at 6:58. Alarm at 7. Monday morning, same thing. This wasn't coincidence. Wednesday at the park, Sarah's phone rang. Before it made a sound, Blaze's ears rotated toward her jacket pocket. The vibration hadn't even started yet. How did you know? The phone buzzed. Marcus calling. Blaze had known 3 seconds early. She decided to test him. Sit. Blaze sat immediately. She'd never taught him that command. Down. He dropped to his belly. Stay. He froze like a statue. You've had training. Advanced training. Professional level. Way beyond basic obedience. At the dog park Thursday afternoon, a German shepherd charged over. Aggressive posture. Hackles raised like a ridge along his spine. Other owners tensed, reached for their dogs, prepared for a fight. Blaze didn't bark, didn't cower, didn't react at all. Just stood there, calm, radiating something invisible but powerful. The shepherd stopped 3 feet away. His charge simply ended. The larger dog whimpered, lowered his massive head, backed away submissively, tucked his tail. His owner stared, completely baffled. What the hell? Sarah breathed. Blaze weighed maybe 35 pounds. The shepherd was twice his size, easily. How did you do that? Blaze looked up at her. No answer in those amber eyes. Just quiet confidence. Just certainty of his place in the world. Friday afternoon, Sarah's neighbor, Mrs. Chen, knocked on the door. I saw your new dog through the window yesterday. Her expression was strange, uncertain, almost afraid. Something wrong? Mrs. Chen hesitated, shifted her weight. My cat won't come out from under the bed. She's terrified. Blaze hasn't even barked at her, Sarah said. I know. That's what's weird. Mrs. Chen wrapped her cardigan tighter. She's scared of his presence, not his actions. He hasn't done anything, but she knows he's there. Sarah frowned. I don't understand. Neither do I, Mrs. Chen admitted. Just be careful, okay? She left quickly. Sarah looked down at Blaze. He stared back, expression unreadable. What are you? The question hung in the air, unanswered. That afternoon, Sarah took Blaze to the vet. Routine checkup for new adoptions. Dr. Patel was thorough and kind. He examined Blaze carefully. Healthy overall. Underweight, but recovering nicely. You're doing well with him. Then he paused. His hands stopped moving. Blaze lay calmly on the metal table. Dr. Patel frowned. His canines are unusually developed for his age. He measured Blaze's jaw with a tool, checked the measurement, did it again. Is that bad? Not bad, just atypical. Dr. Patel rolled Blaze onto his side. The dog allowed it without resistance. And his muscle density is remarkable. Feel here. Sarah touched Blaze's shoulder. The muscle underneath was hard, developed. I'd like to scan for a microchip. The shelter said there wasn't one. Let me check anyway. Dr. Patel retrieved the scanner. He moved it slowly across Blaze's shoulders and neck. Nothing. Then down his back. The scanner beeped. Dr. Patel's face went pale. His hand froze. There is a chip, but it's encrypted. What does that mean? He showed Sarah the scanner display. Instead of a normal identification number, an alphanumeric code. Ode glowed on the screen. K9R Athena 03. Sayla's blood turned to ice. K9R, that's a military. Dr. Patel nodded slowly. Or federal law enforcement. Can you access the registry? I tried while you were looking. It's classified. Requires special clearance. Sarah pulled out her phone. Photographed the scanner display. Blaze sat up calmly. Like this was all expected. All part of some plan. Who are you? Sarah whispered. Where did you really come from? Sarah opened her laptop. She searched K9R military dog program. Nothing useful appeared. Every result was generic. Public information about military dogs. Nothing specific. Nothing classified. She tried Athena K9. Still nothing relevant. Whatever this program was, it was buried deep, hidden intentionally. Her phone rang. Unknown number. She answered cautiously. Officer Mitchell? A woman's voice. Crisp, official, professional. Speaking. This is Agent Reeves. National Canine Recovery Program. Sarah's grip tightened on the phone. We understand you've adopted a dog with registry code K9R Athena 03. How did you know that? The scan triggered an alert in our system. We need to discuss your dog's status. His status? He's not cleared for civilian adoption. There's been a mistake. What kind of mistake? Sarah's voice hardened. That dog was abandoned, starved, branded with scars. We're aware. The situation is complicated, then uncomplicate it. A long pause filled the line. Agent Reeves exhaled slowly. Officer Mitchell, your dog is the offspring of K9 Athena, one of the most accomplished tactical dogs in program history. Sarah's breath caught in her throat. Athena? She died in the line of duty 8 months ago. Your dog was in utero at the time. What kind of operation? That's classified. But Athena's bloodline is exceptional. Sarah looked at Blaze. He watched her intently from his position by the door. So what, you want him back? We'd like to assess him, determine if he's suitable for reintegration into active service. He's 8 months old, and already exhibiting inherited tactical instincts, I imagine. Sarah said nothing. Her silence was confirmation enough. Officer Mitchell, dogs like Blaze can save lives, potentially dozens. But we need to evaluate him properly. When? Tomorrow. 1400 hours. Federal building downtown. Bring all adoption paperwork. The line went dead. Sarah stared at her phone, then at Blaze. He tilted his head, as if asking what was wrong. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep. She searched again with new keywords. Found an old news article buried in local archives. Federal task force raid ends in tragedy. Her hands started shaking before she finished the headline. 8 months ago. Warehouse district on the east side. 2 officers killed, 3 wounded. Canine fatality not named for security reasons. Sarah's vision blurred. The same raid that killed Rex. She'd been there that night. She remembered chaos. Gunfire echoing off metal walls. Smoke thick enough to choke on. Blood on concrete. Screaming. Commands shouted into radios. The moment Rex threw himself between her and the shooter. She remembered another canine unit beside hers. Detective Marcus and his dog. A Belgian Malinois. Female. Black coat with amber patches catching the streetlights. The dog had been magnificent. Fierce. Loyal beyond measure. Athena. Sarah had watched the dog go down. Watched Marcus cradling her body in the aftermath. Watched him weep like a man who'd lost everything. She hadn't known the dog was pregnant. Nobody had mentioned it at the funeral. Oh God, Sarah whispered into the darkness. Blaze wasn't just any tactical dog. He was born into that nightmare. Born from tragedy and violence. His mother died saving her handler. Just like Rex died saving Sarah. They're the same. Blaze padded over to her. Rested his head on her knee. Those amber eyes understanding something she hadn't said aloud. Your mom was a hero, Sarah said softly. Blaze didn't move. Mine was too. Saturday morning arrived too quickly. Sarah dressed in her uniform. Professional appearance for a federal meeting. Blaze sat by the door, unusually tense, his ears swiveled constantly. Listening to sounds she couldn't hear. What's wrong, buddy? He growled. Low, controlled. Nothing visible outside the window. Sarah checked the peephole. Empty hallway. But Blaze wouldn't relax. His hackles raised slowly along his spine. She decided to take the park route. Fresh air might calm him before the meeting. Blaze heeled perfectly beside her on the sidewalk. No pulling, no distraction. Military precision in every step. Riverside Park was crowded with weekend families. Children on swings. Couples jogging the path around the pond. Elderly people feeding ducks. Sarah found a bench near the water. Blaze sat beside her. but his body stayed rigid, scanning, constantly scanning. Sarah followed his gaze across the park. Nothing obvious, just normal families enjoying normal Saturday morning. Wait. One man standing oddly still near the playground, watching but not participating. Blaze's growl deepened. The man noticed, his head turned toward them. For 3 seconds he stared. Then he walked away quickly. Too quickly. His pace unnatural. Easy, Sarah soothed. But her instincts flared too. Something felt wrong. A little girl wandered near the pond edge, 6 years old maybe. Pigtails tied with yellow ribbons, matching yellow dress. No parent visible nearby. She leaned over the water, watching ducks paddle past, smiling innocently. Blaze's entire body went rigid, like steel. Sarah scanned for parents. Saw a woman on a bench 30 feet away, phone pressed to her ear, deep in conversation, not watching her daughter. The girl reached further over the water. Her foot slipped on wet grass. She stumbled toward the edge. Sarah's heart jumped. Blaze, but he was already moving. No command given. Pure instinct took over. He exploded forward, faster than Sarah thought possible, teeth gentle on the girl's dress collar. Pulling her back from the water's edge, the girl gasped but didn't scream. Blaze released her immediately, positioned himself between her and the pond. Emma! The mother finally looked up, phone forgotten. She sprinted over, face white with panic. I'm so sorry, Sarah started. But the mother wasn't angry. She was terrified, shaking. She almost fell. That dog saved her. Emma petted Blaze's head with small fingers. Good doggy. Then Emma's face changed. Color drained away. Her eyes lost focus. Sarah caught her as she collapsed. Call 911. The mother was already dialing, hands trembling violently. She's diabetic. Her sugar must be crashing. Emma's eyes rolled back, her small body convulsed. Blaze started barking, loud, urgent. Not at Emma, at the crowd gathering around them. Help, we need help now. A jogger stopped mid-stride. I'm a paramedic. He dropped beside Emma, checking vitals quickly. She's seizing. Where's her emergency kit? The mother, Maria, dug frantically through her purse. Found an injection pen, hands shaking too hard to use it properly. The paramedic took it, administered the dose with practiced efficiency. 30 seconds passed. 45. Emma's eyes fluttered. She gasped awake, confused and disoriented. Mama? Maria cradled her daughter, sobbing. You're okay, baby. You're okay now. Blaze stopped barking immediately, sat down, waited calmly. Like he knew the crisis was over. Like he'd known exactly what to do. Ambulance sirens wailed in the distance, growing closer. Thank you. Maria looked at Sarah with tears streaming. Thank you so much. Sarah knelt beside them. Is she going to be okay? Yes, thanks to your dog. The paramedic looked at Blaze with new respect. Some dogs can smell blood sugar changes, but that fast? He shook his head slowly. Before she even showed symptoms? That's remarkable. That's impossible, actually. Emma reached out, touched Blaze's nose with one small hand. He knew I was sick. Before I did. Sarah's skin prickled. How? Maria gave Sarah her phone number. Please, let me repay you somehow. There's no need. I'm just glad she's safe. The ambulance arrived. Paramedics loaded Emma onto a stretcher for observation. As they drove away, Sarah studied Blaze. You knew, didn't you? Before she fell. Before she seized. Before anyone else had a clue. Blaze looked up at her. Those amber eyes held intelligence that defied explanation. This wasn't luck. Wasn't coincidence. This was what he was born to do. What his mother died doing. Saving lives. Protecting the vulnerable. Sarah's phone buzzed. Agent Reeves. Her stomach clenched. Officer Mitchell. We need to move up our meeting. Can you come now? Why? What's wrong? There's been a development. Your dog may be in danger. Sarah's blood turned to ice. What kind of danger? Just get here. Now. Bring him immediately. The line went dead. Sarah looked down at Blaze. He was already standing. Alert. Ready for whatever came next. Come on, buddy. We need answers. They headed toward her car at a run. The federal building looms downtown. Gray concrete and tinted windows. Indoors. Sarah parked in the visitor lot. Blaze sat perfectly still in the passenger seat. His eyes tracked every person entering and leaving. Every movement registered. Inside, security was tight. Sarah showed her badge. They scanned her weapon. A guard looked at Blaze with suspicion. "He's with me. Service dog." The lie came easily. The guard waved them through. Agent Reeves waited in a conference room on the third floor. She was younger than Sarah expected. Maybe 40. Sharp suit. Sharper eyes. She studied Blaze the moment they entered. "He's smaller than I anticipated. He's 8 months old. You said he was in danger." Agent Reeves gestured to chairs. "Sit, please." Sarah remained standing. Blaze sat at her heel without command. Agent Reeves noticed, already responding to tactical positioning. "Interesting. What danger?" Sarah's voice hardened. Agent Reeves opened a folder, pulled out photographs. 3 days ago, 2 men were arrested trying to break into our canine facility in Virginia. They had equipment, tranquilizers, bolt cutters, a list of bloodlines. Sarah looked at the photos. 2 men in their 30s, rough appearance, prison tattoos visible. What were they after? Specific dogs, offspring of elite tactical animals. Agent Reeves slid another photo across the table. Athena's name was on that list. Sarah's stomach dropped. They were looking for Blaze. "We believe so." "Who are they?" "The interrogation is ongoing, but we suspect organized dog-fighting rings. They want dogs with tactical training, aggression, discipline, high pain tolerance." Blaze remained motionless. Agent Reeves studied him. His mother was extraordinary. Saved her handler's life in that warehouse. Detective Marcus Wedd. Sarah's throat tightened. "I was there that night." "I know." "Then you understand what these bloodlines represent." Athena's final litter was born 2 days after her death. Emergency cesarean. 4 puppies. 3 died within hours. Only 1 survived. Agent Reeves pointed at Blaze. "Him. Why was he in a shelter?" Agent Reeves' jaw clenched. "Someone made a mistake. A transfer gone wrong. Paperwork lost. By the time we realized, he'd already been processed into the public system. We've been searching for 6 weeks. You let him starve." Those scars on his body. Agent Reeves looked away. "That wasn't us. We don't know what happened during those missing weeks. Between the facility and the shelter, someone had him. Someone hurt him." Sarah felt rage building. "You're telling me criminals had him first?" "Possibly. We're investigating, but right now, our priority is his safety. Those men who were arrested, they're not talking, which means their employers are still out there, still looking." Blaze shifted slightly. His ears rotated toward the door. Agent Reeves continued. "We can protect him. Proper facility, armed guards. He'd be safe while we train him, while we determine his potential for active service." "No." Sarah's voice was flat. Agent Reeves blinked. "Excuse me?" "He's not going back into your system. You lost him once. You let him end up starved and scarred. I'm not risking that again. Officer Mitchell, be reasonable." "I am being reasonable. He stays with me." Agent Reeves stood. Her patience was thinning. "You don't have the resources to protect him. These are dangerous people, professional criminals. They won't stop. Then help me protect him. Don't take him away." Sarah's voice cracked slightly. "He's been through enough. He deserves stability, safety, a home." Agent Reeves studied her for a long moment. "This isn't just about the dog, is it?" Sarah said nothing. Agent Reeves sat back down. "You lost your canine in that same raid. Rex, decorated service dog, saved your life, died doing it." Sarah's hands clenched. "That's in my file?" "Everything's in your file." Agent Reeves's voice softened slightly. "I understand attachment, but sentiment can't override security. These men will come for him. Are you prepared for that?" Sarah looked down at Blaze. He looked back. Those amber eyes trusting completely. "Yes, I'm prepared." Agent Reeves sighed. "Then we do this my way. You keep him, but we provide support. Surveillance on your apartment. Check-ins twice daily. Any suspicious activity, you report immediately." "Fine." "And you attend our canine tactical refresher course. 3 weeks, you and Blaze. If he's going to be in potential danger, you both need updated training." Sarah hesitated. "That means going back to the facility where Rex trained." "It's necessary. Agent Reeves pulled out more papers. Sign these. They. Authorized protective detail. Liability waivers. Sarah scanned them quickly. Signed where indicated. Blaze remains mine. Legally adopted. Cleared for civilian life. For now. Agent Reeves handed her a card. My direct number. Any concerns, call immediately. Don't try to handle threats alone. Sarah pocketed the card. One more thing. What happened to Detective Webb? After Athena died, he resigned. Couldn't continue without her. Agent Reeves closed the folder. Last I heard, he moved upstate. Small town. Hasn't touched canine work since. Some handlers never recover from losing their partners. Sarah understood that completely. Where is he now? Agent Reeves wrote an address on paper. He might want to know about Blaze, about Athena's son surviving. Might bring him peace, or more pain. Sarah took the address carefully. They left the federal building 20 minutes later. Sarah felt exhausted. Blaze trotted beside her, unbothered by everything. At the car, Sarah knelt down. Looked him in the eyes. You're worth protecting, you know that? Blaze licked her hand once. Sarah smiled despite everything. Let's go home, buddy. But first, we're making a stop. She pulled out the address Agent Reeves had given her. Marcus Webb deserved to know. Deserved to meet the son of the dog he'd loved. The drive took 2 hours. North through farmland. Small towns with single stoplights. Finally, a rural address. Small house. Modest, well-maintained yard. Sarah parked on the street, gathered her courage. She knocked 3 times. Footsteps inside. The door opened. Marcus stood there. He'd aged since she last saw him. More gray hair, deeper lines around his eyes. Sarah. His voice was surprised. What are you doing here? I need to show you something. Marcus looked past her, saw Blaze sitting calmly on the porch. His face went white. His hand gripped the doorframe. That's not possible. Sarah's voice was gentle. It's Athena's son, the only one who survived. Marcus stumbled backward. Sarah caught his arm. Easy, breathe. He's real. He's here. Marcus stared at Blaze. Tears filled his eyes. Oh my God, he looks just like her. Those amber patches, those eyes. Blaze stood, walked slowly to Marcus, sat in front of him. Marcus dropped to his knees. His hands trembled as they touched Blaze's head. You're Athena's pup. You've got her eyes, her markings, even the way you sit. His name is Blaze. I adopted him from a shelter last week. Marcus looked up at Sarah. A shelter? How? Sarah explained everything. The microchip, Agent Reeves, the missing weeks, the men arrested trying to steal tactical dogs. Marcus's expression darkened. They're trafficking canines now? That's a new low. Sarah nodded. Agent Reeves thinks Blaze is still in danger. Marcus wiped his eyes. Then you need help. Real help. Someone who knows tactical canine work. You resigned. I did. But this is different. Marcus looked at Blaze again. This is Athena's legacy. I owe it to her. I owe it to him. Sarah felt relief wash through her. So you'll help us? Yeah, I'll help. Marcus stood slowly. Come inside. We need to make plans. If criminals are hunting tactical dogs, they won't stop at one arrest. They'll keep coming. We need to be ready. Marcus's living room was modest but comfortable. Photos lined the mantel. Several showed Athena in her prime. Proud stance. Alert eyes. Marcus handed Sarah coffee. Blaze settled near the fireplace. His position gave clear sightlines to both doors. Smart dog. Marcus noticed immediately. Already securing the room. Just like his mother. Sarah sipped the coffee. It was strong, bitter. She needed it after the morning's revelations. What do we do now? First, we assume they're watching you. Marcus pulled out a notepad. Anyone suspicious near your apartment? Strange vehicles? People who don't belong? Sarah fought back. There was a man at the park this morning, standing too still. He left when Blaze noticed him. Description? White male, 30s, dark jacket, baseball cap pulled low. Marcus wrote it down. That's a start. They're likely doing reconnaissance, learning your patterns, your routine, where you go, when you're vulnerable. Sarah's skin prickled. For how long? Could be days, could be weeks. These rings are patient. They wait for the perfect moment. Marcus stood, walked to the window, checked the street. No unfamiliar cars here. They probably followed you, though. Blaze's ears twitched. His head turned toward the front of the house. Marcus noticed. What is it, boy? Silence for 5 seconds. Then a car engine started down. The street. Drove past slowly. Too slowly. Marcus moved to the window fast. Dark sedan, tinted windows. Can't see plates from this angle. The car disappeared around the corner. Blaze relaxed slightly. He heard that engine before we did, Sarah whispered. By at least 10 seconds. Athena could do that too. Marcus returned to his seat. Hypersensitive hearing. Useful for tactical work. Dangerous for whoever's tracking you. Sarah felt fear creeping up her spine. What if they try something at my apartment? They will eventually, Marcus was blunt. Not tonight probably, but soon. They'll wait until they think you're alone. Vulnerable. Asleep, maybe. Sarah's hands shook slightly. I can't let them take him. I won't. You won't have to. Marcus pulled out his phone. I still have contacts. People who owe me favors. We'll set up a perimeter watch. Unmarked cars, rotating shifts. Anyone approaches your building, we'll know. What about Emma? Sarah suddenly remembered. The little girl from the park. Blaze saved her this morning. If they were watching then, Marcus's expression darkened. They saw him in action, saw his instincts, his training. That makes him more valuable. Sarah finished the thought. Exactly. Marcus dialed a number, put it on speaker. A gruff voice answered. Webb, didn't expect to hear from you. The voice belonged to someone older, experienced. Frank, I need a favor. Big one. Go ahead, I'm listening. Marcus explained the situation. Tactical dog, trafficking ring, potential threat. The line was quiet for a moment. Then Frank spoke. I can have 2 units on her building by tonight. Plain clothes, unmarked vehicles. Thank you. Marcus gave Sarah's address. Frank repeated it back. Consider it done. Webb, you coming back to work? This sounds like your kind of case. Marcus glanced at Blaze. Not officially, but I'm invested personally. This dog's mother was mine. Athena? Frank's voice changed. Sympathy crept in. Heard about what happened. I'm sorry, man. That dog was legendary. Marcus's jaw clenched. Her son survived. He's the one in danger now. I'm not losing him too. Understood. We'll keep him safe. Frank hung up. Marcus pocketed his phone. You've got protection starting tonight, but that's just buying time. We need a permanent solution. Sarah leaned forward. What kind of solution? We find out who's running this operation. Cut off the head. Without leadership, the organization falls apart. Easier said than done, Sarah countered. Agent Reeves said the arrested men aren't talking. They're scared of someone higher up. Then we make them more scared of us. Marcus's voice was hard. I know people who can apply pressure, legal pressure, the kind that makes criminals reconsider their loyalty. Sarah wasn't sure she wanted details. Sometimes ignorance was safer. Blaze suddenly stood. His body went rigid. Both Sarah and Marcus froze. What is it? Marcus whispered. Blaze walked to the back door, stared at it intensely. A low growl rumbled from his chest. Marcus grabbed his gun from a drawer. Stay here. He moved toward the door carefully. Sarah pulled her service weapon. Blaze remained between them and the door. Protective positioning. Marcus peered through the window. Nothing visible, just the backyard. Trees beyond. He unlocked the door slowly. Opened it. Cool air rushed in. Blaze didn't move, still growling, still focused on something. Then Marcus saw it. Fresh footprints in the dirt where the fence. Someone had been standing there, recently. The ground was still settling. Marcus stepped outside, checked the fence line. A section of wood was loose, easy to climb. They're getting bold. He returned inside, locked the door. They followed you here, watched the house, maybe tried to listen through windows. Sarah felt her anger rising. This ends now. We can't just wait for them to make a move. Agreed. Marcus holstered his weapon. We go on offense. Set a trap. Use Blaze as bait. Sarah's protective instincts flared. Absolutely not. He's not bait, he's a puppy. Marcus held up his hands. Hear me out. We stage a routine. You take Blaze to the park. Same time every day. Predictable pattern. They'll see it as an opportunity. We'll have backup hidden. The moment they approach, we take them down. Sarah considered it. Risky. Very risky. But it's our best shot at catching them in the act. With evidence. With witnesses. Then Agent Reeves can trace them back to their bosses. Marcus was right. Waiting passively was worse. But using Blaze felt wrong. I'll think about it. Right now, I need to get home. Sarah stood. Blaze immediately moved to her side. Marcus walked them to the door. Be careful. Check your mirrors. Vary your route. Don't go straight home. I know the drill. Sarah managed a small smile. Thanks, Marcus, for everything. He touched Blaze's head gently. Take care of him. He's all I have left of her. I will, I promise. They left through the front door. The street looked normal, quiet, but Sarah felt eyes on her, invisible, watching. She loaded Blaze into the car, drove away slowly, checked mirrors constantly. A blue truck pulled out 3 cars back, followed for 2 miles, then turned off. Coincidence maybe, maybe not. Sarah took side streets, doubled back twice. No one followed after the truck. She reached her apartment 40 minutes later, longer than necessary, but safer. Inside, everything looked normal, nothing disturbed. Blaze checked each room anyway, sniffing, searching. He stopped at the bedroom window, growled softly. Sarah approached carefully. The window was closed, locked, but there were marks on the frame. Fresh scratches. Someone had tried to open it, recently. Sarah's blood ran cold. They'd already attempted entry, while she was gone. Her hands shook as she called Agent Reeves. They tried to break in. When? Within the last 3 hours. How do you know? Scratches on the window frame. Fresh ones. Agent Reeves cursed softly. The protection detail starts tonight. Can you go somewhere else until then? No. I'm staying. But I'm armed. And Blaze will alert me. Agent Reeves hesitated. All right. But keep your phone on. Anything happens, call immediately. We'll have units close. Sarah agreed. Hung up. She checked her weapon. Full magazine. One in the chamber. Safety on. She placed it on the nightstand. Blaze lay across the bedroom doorway. Guardian position. Nothing would get past him without warning. Night fell slowly. Sarah made dinner. Couldn't eat much. Her appetite was gone. Blaze ate his food normally, calmly, like attempted break-ins were routine. Maybe for him, they were. Maybe his short life had been nothing but danger. At 9 o'clock, headlights appeared across the street. A dark sedan parked. Engine off. 2 shapes visible inside. The protection detail. Sarah felt slightly safer. Slightly. She closed all curtains, double-checked locks, set her alarm system. Blaze settled by the door again. His eyes never closed completely. Always watching, always listening. Sarah lay in bed. Sleep seemed impossible. Every sound made her tense. Every creak of the building. At 11:30, Blaze stood. His growl was deep, urgent. Sarah grabbed her weapon, rolled out of bed. What is it? Blaze stared at the front door. Sarah's phone buzzed. Text from Marcus. Motion sensor triggered in your hallway. Someone's outside your door. Sarah's heart hammered. She moved to the wall beside the door. Weapon ready. Blaze positioned himself in front of her, protecting her even now. Footsteps in the hallway. Heavy. Deliberate. They stopped right outside. The doorknob turned slowly. Testing. Finding it locked. A soft scraping sound. Lockpicks maybe. Sarah dialed 911. Kept the phone silent. Whispered her address. Armed intruder attempting entry. Dispatch confirmed units were coming. Sarah waited. Sweat on her palms. The lock clicked. Someone had gotten through. The door started to open. Blaze's growl became a snarl. Sarah raised her weapon. Police, stop right there. The door froze, then slammed shut. Footsteps pounded down the hallway, running, fast. Sarah yanked the door open, saw a figure in black sprinting toward the stairwell. Blaze lunged forward. No command given. Pure protective instinct. Stay, Sarah commanded. Blaze stopped instantly, quivering with restrained energy. The protection detail burst from the sedan outside. 2 agents ran toward the building. Sarah heard shouting from the stairwell below. Scuffling. Then silence. Her phone rang. Agent Reeves. We got him. Ground floor. He's in custody. Sarah exhaled shakily. Who is he? We're finding out now. Stay inside. Lock your door. We'll post someone directly outside your apartment tonight. Sarah closed the door, locked it. Her hands were still shaking. Blaze pressed against her leg. Solid. Grounding. She knelt down, wrapped her arms around him. You were ready to protect me, even though you're just a puppy. Blaze licked her face once. Sarah laughed. A shaky, relieved sound. We're okay. We're safe. For now, at least. She didn't sleep the rest of the night. Just sat with her. Rack against the door, weapon in lap, Blaze beside her. Morning came gray and cold. Agent Reeves arrived at 7. Her expression was grim. The man we arrested is talking. Finally, fear overcame loyalty. Sarah made coffee, handed Agent Reeves a cup. What did he say? There's an organization, Underground Dogfighting Circuit, but they've expanded. They're stealing and breeding tactical dogs, training them for private security, mercenary work, selling them for 50,000 each. Sarah's stomach turned. That's why they want Blaze. He's worth more because of his bloodline, Athena's genetics, proven combat performance. Her son could be worth double, maybe triple. Agent Reeves sat heavily. They had your address, your schedule, photos of Blaze. This was a professional operation. How many people are involved? At least a dozen locally, more nationwide. The man we caught is low-level, muscle, but he gave us names, locations. We're coordinating raids across 3 states. Sarah felt a small measure of relief. So it's over? Not yet. The leader is still unknown. Everyone reports to someone called the Handler. Nobody's met him. All communication is through encrypted channels. Until we find him, the threat remains. Sarah set down her coffee. Then what do we do? Agent Reeves pulled out a tablet, showed Sarah surveillance footage. This is from yesterday, the park. Sarah watched herself and Blaze on screen, watched Emma almost fall, watched Blaze save her. Then the camera angle shifted. A man in a dark jacket stood at the edge of the frame, watching intently, filming on his phone. That's the reconnaissance we suspected. He sent this footage somewhere, to someone important. Agent Reeves paused the video. 2 hours later, the break-in attempt happened. They accelerated their timeline. Sarah understood, because they saw Blaze perform, saw his instincts, his training. Exactly. You're no longer safe at this apartment. They know where you are. We need to move you, somewhere secure. Sarah looked at Blaze. He was calm, despite the tension. What about Marcus? He's offered to help. Bring him in. We could use his expertise. Agent Reeves stood. Pack essentials. You're going to a safe house. 30 minutes outside the city. Secure facility. Armed guards. For how long? Until we dismantle this organization completely. Could be days. Could be weeks. Sarah didn't like it, but she understood necessity. She packed quickly. Clothes, toiletries, Blaze's food and supplies. Within 20 minutes, she was ready. The safe house was a converted farmhouse. Isolated, surrounded by open fields, easy to see anyone approaching. 2 agents were already stationed there. Marcus arrived an hour after Sarah. His truck kicked up dust on the gravel drive. Good location. He surveyed the property. Clear sightlines. Single access road. Defensible. Agent Reeves handed him a file. Everything we know about the organization. Marcus flipped through pages. His expression darkened. This is bigger than I thought. They've been operating for 18 months. Started small. Street-level dogfighting. Then someone smart took over. Organized it. Expanded into tactical animals. Now they're international. Marcus closed the file. We need to draw out this handler. Make him show himself. How? Sarah asked. We use the trap I mentioned, but modified. We leak information. Let it slip that Blaze is being transported. A specific route, specific time. They'll try to intercept. We'll be ready. Agent Reeves considered it. That puts Officer Mitchell and Blaze directly in danger. I know, but it's our best shot. Marcus looked at Sarah. Your call. You're his handler now. Sarah looked down at Blaze. He stared back with those amber eyes, trusting completely. What do you think, buddy? Should we catch the bad guys? Blaze's tail wagged once. Sarah smiled. I think that's a yes. All right, we do it, but we do it smart. Agent Reeves nodded. I'll coordinate with local and federal units. We'll have air support, ground teams, snipers if necessary. When? Tomorrow afternoon. Rush hour traffic. More variables. Harder for them to control the situation. But also more cover for our people. Marcus was already planning. I'll ride with Sarah. Extra protection. Agent Reeves agreed. I'll be in command vehicle. Overseeing everything. That night, Sarah couldn't sleep again. Tomorrow they'd be bait. Intentionally drawing out killers. She sat on the porch. Stars overhead. Crickets chirping. Peaceful despite everything. Marcus joined her. Brought 2 beers. Handed. Ended her one. You okay? Sarah took a long drink. Nervous. That's normal. First time using your canine in an active operation? First time since Rex. Marcus was quiet for a moment. He was a good dog. The best. I'm sorry you lost him. I'm sorry you lost Athena. They sat in shared grief. 2 handlers who understood loss. Marcus watched Blaze through the window. He's special. Like his mother. You can see it in how he moves, How he thinks. Sarah nodded. He saved that little girl without hesitation. Athena would have done the same. She died protecting me, threw herself between me and a shooter, took 3 bullets. Marcus's voice cracked. I held her while she bled out, felt her last breath. I've never forgiven myself. It wasn't your fault. Marcus shook his head. I should have cleared that room first, should have been faster, better, but I wasn't. And she paid the price. Sarah touched his arm. She made a choice. Dogs like them always do. They choose to protect. It's in their blood. I know. Doesn't make it easier. Marcus finished his beer. But tomorrow we make sure her son doesn't pay for our mistakes. We catch these people. End this. Sarah raised her bottle. To Athena and to Rex. May they rest knowing we're still fighting. To Athena and Rex. They drank. The night deepened. Eventually, Marcus went inside. Sarah stayed on the porch, thinking, planning, worrying. Blaze pushed the door open with his nose, joined her outside. Can't sleep either? Blaze lay down, rested his head on her feet. Sarah reached down, stroked his fur. We're going to be okay. I promise. I won't let anything happen to you. Blaze's tail thumped once against the wood. Morning arrived too fast. Sarah dressed in tactical gear. Vest, radio, weapon. Blaze wore a canine vest that Agent Reeves provided. Lightweight, protective. He looked professional. Official. Marcus checked his equipment. Shotgun, sidearm, extra ammunition. Ready. The transport vehicle was an unmarked van. Reinforced sides, bulletproof glass. Sarah and Marcus sat in back with Blaze. 2 agents drove. 4 more vehicles followed at distance. Unmarked, invisible to civilians. Agent Reeves coordinated from a command center downtown. Radio check. Agent Reeves's voice came through clear. All units respond. One by one, teams checked in. Ground units, air support, surveillance. Snipers positioned on overpasses. Everyone ready. Sarah's heart pounded. This is it. They pulled onto the highway. Traffic was moderate. Rush hour building. The route took them through industrial areas, warehouses, shipping yards, perfect places for an ambush. Marcus watched out the back window. 2 cars behind. Blue sedan, white truck, both suspicious. Command, we have possible tails. Agent Reeves responded immediately. We see them. Units in position. Maintain course. Sarah's hand rested on Blaze. He was calm, alert but not anxious, like he understood the mission. The van took the planned exit. Construction zone ahead. Lane closures. Traffic slowed. Now. Marcus said it quietly. If they're coming, it's now. The blue sedan accelerated. Pulled alongside the van. Window rolled down. Sarah saw the gun. Get down. Marcus yanked her back. Gunfire erupted. Bullets slammed into the van's reinforced sides. Blaze barked. Sharp, urgent. All units move in. Agent Reeves commanded. Unmarked cars swarmed from everywhere. Box formation around the van. The blue sedan tried to flee. 2 SUVs blocked its path. Agents poured out. Weapons drawn. Get out. Hands up. Now. The white truck rammed the van from behind. Metal crunched. Sarah was thrown forward. Blaze yelped. Marcus steadied them both. Hold on. The van's driver accelerated. Broke free. The truck pursued. More gunfire. Sarah heard helicopter rotors overhead. Air unit engaging. Spotlight on the truck. The driver panicked, swerved, clipped a barrier. The truck spun out, stopped sideways across 2 lanes. Agents surrounded it immediately. 4 men were pulled out, arrested, hands behind backs. Sarah's radio crackled. Command to transport. Threat neutralized. You're clear. Sarah exhaled. Blaze shook himself. Marcus checked them both for injuries. You okay? Yeah, just shaken. They climbed out of the van. Surveyed the scene. 8 arrests total, including someone important. Agent Reeves approached. Her expression was triumphant. We got him. The handler. He was in the white truck, directing everything. Sarah felt relief wash through her. It's over. Really over. Agent Reeves nodded. He's already talking, trying to cut a deal. We'll dismantle. Toodle the entire network within days. 3 days later, Sarah sat in Agent Reeves's office. Blaze lay at her feet, calm as always. The handler had provided everything. names, locations, financial records. 17 arrests across 4 states. The organization was collapsing. You did good work, Officer Mitchell. Agent Reeves slid papers across the desk. Which brings us to the next question. What happens to Blaze now? Sarah's stomach tightened. She'd been dreading this conversation. He stays with me. We had an agreement. We did, but circumstances have changed. Agent Reeves pulled out a file. Blaze performed exceptionally during the operation. His instincts are extraordinary. His tactical awareness is beyond anything we've seen in a dog his age. Sarah knew where this was going. You want him back. For training. Active service. Agent Reeves leaned forward. He could save lives, Sarah. Dozens, maybe hundreds. Dogs with his bloodline and abilities are incredibly rare. We can't afford to waste that potential on civilian life. He's not a tool. He's a living being who deserves peace. Agent Reeves's expression softened. I understand your attachment, but think about what he's capable of. Think about Emma Torres. That little girl is alive because of him. How many other Emmas could he save? Sarah looked down at Blaze. He stared back. Those amber eyes held trust, love. He'd chosen her. At the shelter, through everything. You're asking me to give up my partner. I've done that before. I can't do it again. This isn't the same. Rex died. Blaze would be alive, working, fulfilling his purpose. Sarah's voice hardened. His purpose is what I decide. I'm his handler, his legal owner. Agent Reeves picked up a different folder. About that. What? Agent Reeves opened it carefully. The adoption wasn't technically legal. Blaze was federal property. The shelter had no authority to release him. Technically, he's still ours. Sarah's blood boiled. You're going to pull legal technicalities now? I don't want to, but I have superiors asking questions. Budget committees want to know why an $800,000 tactical asset is living in a civilian apartment. Sarah's jaw dropped. $800,000? That's his estimated value. Training costs, bloodline, performance metrics. He's not for sale. He's mine. Agent Reeves closed the folder. Then, prove he's better off with you than in our program. Sarah stood. How do I do that? Show me he can still serve, just in a different capacity. Civilian canine work, community policing, school programs. Sarah considered it. That could work. I could transfer to the Canine Community Outreach Division. Use Blaze for demonstrations, safety education, public events. Agent Reeves nodded slowly. That would satisfy the budget concerns. He'd still be serving, still using his abilities. But he stays with me. He lives at home. Normal life when he's off duty. Agreed. Agent Reeves pulled out new paperwork. Sign this. It transfers him officially into the Community Outreach Program. You're his permanent handler. No more questions about ownership. Sarah read carefully. Everything looked legitimate. She signed 3 places. Blaze is officially yours, Agent Reeves confirmed. Congratulations, Officer Mitchell. You just became our newest canine community liaison. Sarah felt tears threatening. Thank you. Don't thank me yet. This job comes with responsibilities. Training sessions twice weekly, public appearances, schools, libraries, community centers. Blaze becomes the face of our canine program. Sarah smiled. We can handle that, can't we, buddy? Blaze's tail wagged. Agent Reeves stood, extended her hand. Sarah shook it. One more thing. Marcus Webb called me. He wants to come back. Part-time consultant. Training new handlers. I approved it. Sarah's heart lifted. That's wonderful. He said working with you reminded him why he loved this job. Reminded him that losing a partner doesn't mean losing yourself. Agent Reeves walked them to the door. Take care of that dog. He's special. I know. Sarah left feeling lighter, freer. Outside, Marcus waited by his truck. Heard the good news. Sarah grinned. We're official. Community Outreach Canine Team. Marcus scratched Blaze's ears. Athena would be proud. Her son serving and protecting, just like she did, but safer, smarter. They walked to Sarah's car. The afternoon sun was warm. Blaze trotted between them, happy, at peace. Sarah's phone rang. Unknown number. She answered cautiously. Officer Mitchell, this is Maria Torres, Emma's mother. Maria, is everything? Everything okay? More than okay. I wanted to thank you properly for saving Emma, for everything. We'd like to invite you to dinner, this weekend if you're available. Sarah smiled. We'd love to come. Wonderful. Maria's voice was emotional. Emma talks about Blaze constantly. She calls him her guardian angel. She drew him a picture. I'd love to see it. Sarah made plans. Saturday evening, Maria gave her address. Sarah hung up, feeling warm inside. That night, Sarah returned to her apartment. It felt safe now. The criminals were caught. The threat was over. She made dinner, fed Blaze. They sat together on the couch. Normal life. Finally, her phone buzzed. Text from Julie. Heard about your adventure. You're all over the news. Hero Pop and Hero Dog. Sarah hadn't watched the news, hadn't wanted the attention, but she pulled up a video on her phone. Footage from the highway operation. Blaze barking in the van. Agents swarming. Arrests being made. The headline read, "Local officer dismantles dogfighting ring." Comments flooded below the video. People praising Sarah, praising Blaze, demanding more canine programs, sharing their own dog stories. Sarah scrolled through them, felt connection to strangers who understood the bond between handlers and their partners. One comment stood out, from a username K9Handler23. That's Athena's pup. I served with her overseas. She was the bravest dog I ever knew. Glad to see her son carrying on the legacy. Sarah felt tears finally fall, happy tears this time. Saturday arrived with perfect weather. Sarah dressed casually, jeans, simple shirt. Blaze wore his vest. They drove to Maria's house, small suburban home, flowers in the yard. Emma saw them from the window, came running out. He's here. Blaze is here. Sarah knelt down. Emma hugged her, then hugged Blaze carefully. I made you something. She held up a crayon drawing. Blaze standing beside Emma, both smiling. Rainbow overhead. Guardian angel written in shaky letters at the top. This is beautiful. Can I keep it? Emma nodded enthusiastically. It's for you, to say thank you, for saving me. Sarah's throat tightened. You're very welcome. Maria appeared in the doorway. Come in, please. Dinner's almost ready. The evening was perfect. Simple meal, easy conversation. Emma told them about starting a support group at school for kids with diabetes. I'm not scared anymore, she explained, because now I know there are helpers everywhere, like you and Blaze. After dinner, they sat in the backyard. Emma threw a ball. Blaze retrieved it gently, never too rough, always careful. Maria watched with wet eyes. She could have died that day. If your dog hadn't been there. If you hadn't been there. But we were. Sarah touched Maria's shoulder. And Emma's going to live a long, full life. She's strong. Maria nodded. She is. Just like her father was. He died from a heart condition when she was 3. Sudden. Unexpected. I've been terrified of losing her too. I understand that fear. Sarah thought of Rex. Of Athena. Of every handler who'd lost a partner. But we can't let fear stop us from living. From loving. From taking risks. Maria smiled. You're right. Thank you for reminding me. They stayed until sunset. Emma fell asleep on the couch. Blaze lay beside her, protective even in sleep. Sarah took a photo, sent it to Marcus. Got a reply immediately. That's what it's all about. That's why we do this job. Driving home, Sarah felt complete, whole. For the first time since losing Rex. Blaze sat in the passenger seat, head out the window slightly, ears flapping in the wind. Happy. This is where you belong, Sarah said softly. With me. Doing good, making a difference. Blaze looked at her, then returned his attention to the road. Guardian even now. Watching. Protecting. They arrived home as stars appeared overhead. Sarah unlocks the door. Inside, she noticed something new. A package on the kitchen counter. She hadn't ordered anything. Approached carefully, opened it slowly. Inside was a framed photograph. Athena in her tactical vest. Proud, strong, beautiful. A note was attached. From Marcus. Thought you should have this, so Blaze knows where he came from. Sarah hung it on the wall, beside Rex's collar. 2 heroes, 2 legacies. Blaze sat, stared at his mother's image. Did he understand? Did he know? Sarah liked to think he did, liked to think Athena was watching, proud of her son. The weekend ended peacefully. Monday morning brought new assignments. Sarah reported to the Community Outreach Division. Her supervisor explained. Laned upcoming events. Elementary school next week. Library reading program. Senior center demonstration. Meet the Canine program at the county fair. Blaze would be busy, but happy, serving without danger, protecting without violence, using his extraordinary abilities to educate instead of fight, to inspire instead of intimidate. This was better. This was right. Sarah drove to their first assignment. Local elementary school. third-grade class studying community helpers. 30 children sat cross-legged in the library, eyes wide, excited. Sarah introduced herself, then introduced Blaze. He sat perfectly, patiently, while 30 small hands petted him, while 30 voices asked questions. Can he do tricks? Is he nice? What's his favorite food? Sarah answered everything, demonstrated commands, showed how Blaze could detect danger, how he stayed calm under pressure, how he'd saved Emma Torres. The teacher showed the news footage. The children gasped, applauded. Blaze is a hero, one boy said. Just like my dad. Your dad's a hero too? Sarah asked. He's a firefighter, the boy beamed. He saves people from fires. Sarah knelt down. Then you understand. Heroes come in all forms. Some wear badges, some wear fur, but they all have one thing in common. What's that? They choose to help others, even when it's scary, even when it's hard. The children nodded solemnly, understanding in their young faces. That day planted seeds, seeds of respect, compassion, courage. Sarah saw it clearly. This was her new purpose. 6 weeks passed in peaceful routine. Sarah and Blaze visited 12 schools, 4 libraries, 2 senior centers. Everywhere they went, people responded. Children laughed. Elderly residents smiled. Parents asked questions about canine training, about service dogs, about the bond between handlers and their partners. The video from their highway operation went viral, over 50 million views. News outlets requested interviews. Sarah declined most, but she agreed to one. Local morning show, human interest segment. The host was kind, professional. Tell us about Blaze. Where did he come from? Sarah explained carefully, leaving out classified details. He's the son of a legendary tactical dog named Athena. She died serving her country. Blaze inherited her courage, her instincts, her heart. And he saved a little girl's life? That's right. Emma Torres, 6 years old, diabetic. Blaze detected her blood sugar crash before anyone else noticed. The host dabbed her eyes. That's incredible. Do you think he knew what he was doing? Absolutely. Dogs like Blaze are born with protective instincts, but they choose to act on them. He chose to save Emma, just like his mother chose to save her handler. The segment aired the following Tuesday. Sarah's phone exploded with messages. Friends from the academy, former colleagues, people she hadn't spoken to in years. Everyone praising Blaze, praising her work. One message stood out, from the police commissioner. Well done, Officer Mitchell. You've given this department something special. Keep it up. Marcus called that evening. Saw your interview. You're a natural. Sarah laughed. I was terrified. Didn't show. You looked confident, professional. Athena would be proud. So would Rex. Sarah felt warmth spread through her chest. Thanks, Marcus. That means everything. How's the consulting work? Challenging. Rewarding. I'm training 3 new handlers next month. Young officers, eager. Reminds me why I loved this job. Marcus paused. You saved me, you know. Giving me purpose again. Reminding me I still have something to offer. You saved yourself. I just gave you a reason to try. They talked for another hour. Shared stories, memories, plans for future training sessions. When they hung up, Sarah felt grateful for second chances, for new beginnings, for friendships forged through shared loss. The following Saturday, Maria called. The city is doing a community safety day. Emma wants Blaze to be there. Can you come? Sarah checked her schedule. We'll be there. What time? 10 to 3. The park pavilion. Emma's so excited. Community Safety Day was crowded. Fire trucks, police vehicles, ambulances, interactive displays everywhere. Children climbed on equipment, tried on helmets, learned about emergency services. Sarah set up in the canine demonstration area. Blaze sat beside her, patient as always. Families gathered. Sarah explained canine work, demonstrated commands, let children pet Blaze under supervision. He was gentle with everyone, especially the smallest kids. The nervous ones. He seemed to sense their fear, responded with extra calm. Emma arrived with Maria around noon. She ran straight to Blaze, hugged him. He's so big now. Blaze had grown considerably, almost 50 pounds. Still lean, still developing, but stronger, more muscular, growing into his mother's legacy. Can I help with the demonstration? Emma asked. Sarah smiled. Absolutely. Emma stood beside her, helped explain how Blaze had saved her life, showed her medical alert bracelet, talked about diabetes management. The crowd listened intently. Parents took notes. After the demonstration, the mayor approached. Mayor Richardson, tall, professional, warm smile. Officer Mitchell, I've heard wonderful things about your program. I'd like to discuss expansion. More canine officers, more community engagement. Can we meet next week? I'd be honored. They scheduled Tuesday morning, City Hall. The mayor shook Blaze's paw. You're doing important work, both of you. Keep it up. Sarah watched him leave. This was bigger than she'd imagined. Bigger than one dog, one handler. That evening, Sarah returned home exhausted, happy but tired. Blaze flopped on his bed. First time she'd seen him truly worn out. Good day, buddy? His tail thumped once. Sarah made dinner. They ate together, comfortable silence. Her phone buzzed. Email from Agent Reeves. Subject line, recognition ceremony. Sarah opened it. The department was hosting an award ceremony, honoring officers and canines who'd served with distinction. Blaze was being recognized. So was Sarah. The ceremony is in 2 weeks. Federal building, formal attire, several dignitaries attending, press coverage. I hope you'll accept. Sarah replied immediately. We'll be there. Thank you for this opportunity. Agent Reeves responded within minutes. You've earned it, both of you. 2 weeks later, Sarah stood in her dress uniform, polished shoes, pressed creases. Blaze wore a ceremonial canine vest, navy blue with gold badges. He looked official, impressive. They arrived at the federal building together. Marcus met them outside. You clean up nice, Mitchell. Sarah grinned. You too, Webb. Marcus wore his old uniform, decorations across his chest. He'd been invited as Athena's former handler, as a consultant who'd helped dismantle the trafficking ring. They walked inside together. The ceremony room was packed. Officers, handlers, canines, families. Press cameras lined the back. Sarah found her assigned seat. 3rd row. Marcus sat beside her. Blaze lay at her feet, calm despite the crowd, despite the noise. The commissioner spoke first, thanked everyone for coming, highlighted the canine program's achievements. Then Agent Reeves took the podium. Today, we honor extraordinary service, courage under pressure, dedication to protecting others. She called names. Handlers stepped forward, received medals, plaques. Applause followed each presentation. Officer Sarah Mitchell and Canine Blaze. Sarah stood. Her legs felt weak. Blaze walked beside her. Perfect heel. They approached the podium together. Agent Reeves smiled. Officer Mitchell demonstrated exceptional bravery in dismantling an international dog trafficking operation. She placed herself and her canine in harm's way to protect others. Through her efforts, 17 criminals were arrested, dozens of dogs were rescued, and a dangerous organization was destroyed. The room erupted in applause. Sarah felt tears threatening. Canine Blaze, at only 8 months old, saved a child's life, detected a medical emergency before it became fatal, and displayed tactical instincts that honor his mother's legacy. Agent Reeves hung a medal around Blaze's neck. He sat perfectly still, professional. Sarah received her medal next. The weight felt significant, real. This represents not just your actions, Agent Reeves said quietly, but your heart. Your refusal to give up on a dog everyone else overlooked. That's true service. They returned to their seats. Marcus squeezed Sarah's shoulder. Proud of you. Sarah wiped her eyes. Thanks. The ceremony continued. More awards, more stories. Each one inspiring. Each one proving the bond between handlers and their canines. After the ceremony, people approached Sarah, congratulated her, asked about Blaze, requested information about the community outreach program. One woman stood out, older, gray hair, kind eyes. She approached slowly. Officer Mitchell, I'm Helen Webb, Marcus's mother. Sarah shook her hand. It's an honor to meet you. Helen looked down at Blaze. He's beautiful, just like Athena was. I saw her. Once, when Marcus brought her home for Christmas, she was extraordinary. Blaze is her son, I know. Marcus told me everything. Helen's eyes filled with tears. After Athena died, I thought I'd lost my son too. He was so broken, but you brought him back, gave him purpose again. Thank you. He did that himself. Sarah's voice was gentle. I just reminded him why he mattered. Helen hugged her. You gave him more than that. You gave him hope. She knelt slowly, touched Blaze's head. Take care of this woman. She needs you, just like you need her. Blaze licked Helen's hand. She laughed, stood carefully. Marcus is lucky to know you both. Sarah watched her rejoin Marcus across the ring, saw them embrace, saw Marcus wipe his eyes. This job wasn't just about dogs, it was about healing, connection, family. The press wanted photos. Sarah and Blaze posed with other handlers, with the commissioner, with Agent Reeves. Cameras flashed, questions were shouted. How does it feel? What's next? Will you continue the outreach program? We're just getting started. Sarah's voice was confident. Every school, every community, every child who needs to learn that heroes come in all forms, will be there, Blaze and I together. The reporters loved it. Scribbled notes, recorded video. That night, Sarah hung her medal on the wall, beside Athena's photo, beside Rex's collar. 3 generations of service, 3 stories of courage. Blaze watched from his bed, those amber eyes reflecting lamplight. You know what this means? Sarah sat beside him. We're official now. Real heroes. People believe in us, trust us. We can't let them down. Blaze rested his head on her lap. Sarah stroked his fur. But we won't, because we have each other. Monday morning brought new assignments. 3 schools that week. A hospital visit on Friday. Therapy dog certification training next month. Sarah's calendar was full. Blaze's too. They worked together, learned together, grew together. Emma sent letters regularly, crayon drawings, updates about school, her diabetes management, photos of her wearing a Blaze fan club shirt she'd made herself. You're my hero, one letter said. When I grow up, I want to help people just like you do. Sarah pinned the letters on her refrigerator, reminders of why this mattered, why every school visit, every demonstration, every moment spent teaching children about courage and compassion was worth it. 6 months after the ceremony, Sarah received a call. Unknown number. She answered cautiously. Officer Mitchell? This is Principal Davidson from Riverside Elementary. We'd like to create a permanent canine safety program. Would you be interested in leading it? Absolutely. They discussed details, weekly visits, curriculum development, training materials. It was everything Sarah had hoped for, everything she'd worked toward. She accepted immediately. Blaze would be the program's mascot, its heart. That evening, Sarah stood on her apartment balcony. Sunset painted the sky orange and gold. Blaze sat beside her. They'd come so far. From a scared puppy in a shelter to a recognized hero. From a grieving handler to a woman with purpose. We did it, buddy. Sarah's voice was soft. We found our place, our mission. Rex would be proud. Athena too. Blaze leaned against her leg. Solid, dependable, forever loyal. A breeze carried sounds of the city. Children playing, cars passing, life continuing. Sometimes heroes don't wear badges. Sarah whispered into the wind. Sometimes they walk on 4 paws. Sometimes they're born from tragedy, but choose to create hope. Sometimes they're exactly what we need when we need it most. Blaze looked up at her. Those amber eyes holding love, trust, understanding. Sarah knelt down, wrapped her arms around him. Thank you, for choosing me, for saving me, for reminding me that loss doesn't mean the end. It means a new beginning. Inside on the mantel, 3 items sat together. Rex's worn collar, Athena's proud photograph, Sarah's medal beside Blaze's, a family of heroes, connected by love, by service, by the unbreakable bond between handlers and the canines who changed their lives forever. The future stretched ahead, full of children to teach, lives to touch, moments to natter. And through it all, Sarah and Blaze would walk together, partners, friends, heroes, proving every day that sometimes the best rescues save both the rescued and the rescuer. If this story touched your heart, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Heroes come in many forms, and their stories deserve to be told.